Yes, that is a game of billiards. And it's working. And I compiled that from source myself. And I'm still building packages. Right now my package count is projected to be close to 5,100. It's probably going to be bigger than that. This is not an X11 app. Don't know how it's working. Some of the apps want an X server, some don't. It might be interesting to look at the source code to figure out what they're doing here in Foo Billiards that allows us to run. There are other programs that also will run. I'm not exactly sure how this works. Although I hit the space bar and things get knocked around, which is good. I guess I'll do a quick package info. This is the first time I've ever actually ran something that I wanted to actually run. It's reasonably good to play. So this is kind of cool. I'm easily going to outdo what I was able to accomplish before. I'm getting a lot more apps ported over that didn't work before. I'm getting a better idea what's going on with Haiku Porter, and in some cases I'm a little bit confused as to why some things are working or not, but it almost seems like, I don't know. But it pretty much, if I have a patch up for an archiver, that means it works, and along with the settings. I don't have anything that's broken. The only thing that I don't have are the ones that I haven't said can be installed that I've marked. I have to update my status sheets eventually. This is a huge undertaking. The real number that I've had built right now as of last night was this number. Okay. If I had a larger number of packages made before, I've used that to come to this number. So this is like a conservative estimate as to where things are going to be. Before I was at 4,800, I think I'm going to outdo that. Right now on the games, let's see where I'm at on the games. Let's look at my overall total. But I still have some problems I'm trying to deal with. So right now I got 3,034. Games have been a tough grind. I've worked through a couple of them. A couple of them are just like N-Curses programs that don't really look all that great. Some of them are chess programs. Audio has been a real bummer. And what's so interesting about this mouse seems to have some integration here too. What's so, and that's noise. So I got to figure out what's going on here with Foo Billiards. I don't think it was really designed for. I guess I knocked 8-ball. I don't think it was really designed up front to work with Haiku, but the code I really am interested to look at because I want to know how I can get these programs to not actually need Library X11 and just run and also have audio. So I gotta look at the dependencies and see what it's hooking into, what headers it's getting, stuff like that. But this Foo Billiards I'm pretty happy with so far. My glue and glut builds aren't any different than what's comes with Haiku. And the only thing is I was having the unresolved symbol error, but it was only complaining because I had included, when Cairo insists on including a shared memory header. and so to build. So I included it, and it just still had the unresolved symbols. Right now I'm actually using Haiku's glue and glut libraries to run this program. If I were to revert back to remove the binaries I copied over from the system directory and the ones that I built with Pkgsrc, I would just get an unresolved symbol error in the terminal, and that'd be it. I'm also getting absolutely just about none of the SDL builds. It's annoying. Yes, I was able to get SDL to build, but it really hasn't done much for me. I have a huge, just a huge stack of settings to get things to build. I never know what I'm going to have to do to get something to build or not. So like this LICQ core. Oh yeah, I don't have any Qt, patches working, or this NSIS. The answer was to, include icon v in the build link, so the headers would show up, and I did a video on those. It just sometimes if I want to add L network, this works. Sometimes if I have, and what I don't have is a very strong. I kind of, I'll recognize some of the symptoms, and I'll just go with what worked before, and I'll do a trial. I'll keep trying. But I'll tell you this. Just doing the L network didn't work for NetPipe. I had to do it this way. You see? It's really odd. So there's some of these that don't work. This doesn't work. Some that don't work that I haven't even commented out because I've yet to try Samba, but I am feeling better about this. And I now am able to build GoObject Introspection. That was just a spider web of different, what I'm calling settings here, to get the damn thing to work. Finally, the damn thing worked. PHP I've solved, so whenever I see any kind of PHP module package, I put it in this thing here. This I got from some guy that was having trouble building binaries on AIX, and that was the answer to him on the mailing list. I tried everything. So things were going fairly well. And if I were to put all this stuff into one make.conf file, the make.conf file would be this big minus maybe 10 pages. Alright, so did I look at this? So I'm at 3,034. Last time I had reached 4,800. But the deal is, all these ones that are black, I haven't, except for games, I haven't even really done a run through them. No, where's that again? So I'm about 1,800 away from catching up to where I was, but I know I'm going to catch up to where I was before. There's only about 11 packages that I wasn't able to rebuild from last time. But so the biggest loss was in the development category. So I lost 10, but I gained like 200 or something ridiculous number like that. So I don't think I'm going to get above 50%. It would, to get, like in the archive, even in the archivers category of 107 there, to get from 50 to where it is now, 75, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Where I have a diff there, that means you can't install two of the same packages at the same time. But to get up even to that level, it took a long time. And I'm going to have to get Ruby to link. Ruby's a big stopper here. Ruby builds, it just doesn't link. It builds a static library, it won't link. And out of all these different, some of these I've done jumping jacks and cartwheels and got it to link. In some cases, I'm going to study those, but there's a multitude of different methods that are common, but there's like 20 or something, or more, of the way packages tend to build. Sometimes Pkgsrc will supply its own makefile type mechanism. Sometimes the developer will have it. But anyway, when you put it all together, is this thing actually trying to build STL graphics? If it is, then I'm happy, because I have not seen any. When I try to do SDL sound, it just goes. Don't know why that is, but right now this is looking okay. But I also got to be careful because I have these other copies of Glue and Glut from the system. I did everything normally up till now. This looks like this might actually... Yeah. It's going to build SDL image. There it is. Unless it doesn't link or something, you know, it doesn't make a shared library. But when it gets past this post-install file list, chances are very... there it is. Yeah. So, don't know how or why that's significant or why that just happened. It has something to do with these unresolved symbols. I don't know. If I need to take the shared memory header out of there, time will only tell. I'll get to a better result and finally be able to figure out what the hell I have to do, because there really isn't any documentation for a lot of this stuff. Oh, just build, so it's just a recipe, you know. But there's more technical stuff out there, requirements that, you know. Anyway, so I'm happy to have this thing. How well it does, I don't know. Can I escape? Well, the keyboard interacts. That's good. So yes, it's out of here. So I tried another billiard game, the first one that worked for me. There was actually two of them, and it just took over the entire screen. And I couldn't get out, so I had to restart. But, yeah, so that launched from the terminal. So this is my first experience at all doing anything graphic at all that I've built myself at all from Pkgsrc at all. And apparently, if that thing needs libraries, it's finding those libraries. Yeah, it is, and I have them placed right in the Pkgsrc directory. I haven't moved them into non-packaged or anything like that. So, you know, but I have to. The only problem with that is you can't really path it. See, I can't just type foo billiards and have it come up. You know, type boot home package bin foo billiards. Where's the icon? I don't know. It seems to run on its own. It doesn't really seem to really need that. There's some, I don't know what this lateness stuff is. It doesn't really bother me all that much. I'm just glad this is working. You know, you can worry about lateness and stuff like that later. unless it's holding other things up. I mean, just things are going right now. It's good. So I loaded up my whole solution set up as of today. And so if you took all my stuff and you download the package source and you dumped everything in that I have in there, and sometimes they're just a file, but for the most part they're patches, and sometimes they're replacement make files or replacement patches, and replace the patches, replace the make files, put the settings in place, bootstrap and all that stuff. You should be able to duplicate what I've done here. So that's so far pretty good. And I've yet to try to build any browsers. I'm just working down the list, and next is graphics, and some I don't even have one build yet, and I don't know if they were very big, but I haven't even tried, is basically the point. So these numbers are going to go up. I don't know if I'm going to get to 50% overall, but the Vels, being the biggest category with 64%, does help that, and there's some I've just really done well on, better than I ever thought, like converters or package tools has gone. So a lot of these are in the 70% now. So, but to get from in Devel, I might even be able to build some more. But some of these, like the editors, they want the Qt libraries or GTK2 or forget it. And right now, Pingo is not linking because of the same shared memory error. And I don't know how to get around. And, you look at the Haiku Porter patches, they don't have anything to... There's no patch for Cairo, just it's there. So, but when I try to build Cairo, it insists that it needs a shared memory header. So, either it's not going to build, or I got to provide it with a shared memory header. And now I'm getting, as a result of using the shared memory header, I'm getting there's only one definition. It's SHMGET. And I'm going to relook at that and see if I can get rid of that variable somehow, some way, and move on. But this is huge. I would say I've been doing this for a month with this new start, and although I've been building patches this entire time, which slows me down, if I was just able to start out with everything already set. I get this distinct feeling that I'm just going to get a lot more builds now that I put the glue and the glut in there. Well, Quake data already, actually. Now it's going to try to build Quake. So, which I'd be amazed if I had to build a Quake. I actually would be. Blow my mind. Anyway, so, yeah. I don't think Quake just run without it. If Quake will run without an X server, that's fucking awesome. So the numbers will go up a little bit, and I don't know if I'll make 50%, but I'm looking around 5,500. I mean, it's not, I'm only 300 projected to be. But anyway, so I'm just rambling. If Quake compiles, I'll come back on tomorrow and I'll do a little demo. There are other people that have managed to compile Quake. I've seen this before, but in recent days it really hasn't happened, as far as I know. Now, I may be just completely uninformed. It may actually already be in Haiku Depot. In that case, I'll just feel stupid now. I didn't... Why did it do that? Why did it stop? Oh, I could deal with some of these things. dir.h. And I'm getting more familiar with these errors. So anyway, I'll just stop here and we'll see how it goes. But anyway, for me to be finished with this thing, the games took 2 days. That's like if I really focus, try to get some patches out of this and get some more builds instead of just letting it build and go, okay, I'm done, next category. Putting some care into it. This is gonna be a couple more months until I have a really. I mean, right now it's pretty good. Basically, I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. The first time I did this, what I wanted to accomplish was figure out what's going on, why aren't people making apps, and why are there just a handful of games available in Haiku Depot. What happened to Haiku? Where did everybody go? Well, everybody just stopped when the package manager came in and the files were read-only, and you had to be a rocket scientist to actually get right access to parts of the system that are, when you're working around things, sometimes it's important to have access to the system and make changes. So I found that out, then I found out where the system was and what some of the problems were, and then I just stopped. And I decided to start over again to see if I could redo, maybe see that at least I hadn't lost any ground. I've gained a little bit of ground, I've gained some more skills, and I've been able to get some more of these built, so I still want to get it so I could actually not have to cheat. I mean, but it's getting better. It's getting better, at least for me to be able to do this. And next time when I start, I'll be able to start with my own patches, and that's sure shit. That's what I'm going to do right away, and quickly get caught up to where I was here. And then the next one will be to see how complete I can get patches for packages that are available. And then just looking at the volume of this, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, and the number's grown. So right now, I've even taken out packages that I don't think they actually will not build for Haiku. It's close to 12,000. There's no way I'm gonna sign up for, and then there's so many fucking changes that I would need to make to build in or to work. I don't want to say it. There were a lot of changes that I would have to get into package source and or to the different projects that it's just unrealistic to expect. And it was the same thing I was saying before. What I was saying before is our approach shouldn't be that the POSIX book is what we go by first. No, our approach should be that the POSIX book is what you go by first. But our approach, it's not really in my opinion. I mean, it's a fact. If then we find out that POSIX is only bringing us about 20%. Then we adjust our own stuff so we can build more and more and more. We did that with the strings header, and we should do that with a lot of other things. But I suspect the only reason why we did that with the strings header is because Haiku wouldn't build. Not because, any developer. I just don't get that vibe, But from the people making the operating system, I hate to say I could be completely wrong, but why not do some other things? And I don't know. I got to check. I got to see. I haven't checked what kind of work's being done in Haiku, but if we want to have a lot of apps out there, I mean, some of the things I've had to do was there was one Go object inspection. I had to link libraries that were partially provided by Haiku and partially ones that I had built in 2 different directories, you know, all sorts of stuff. And at the end of the day, I have a lot to work with. And I have recipes that are made, and, you know, it almost doesn't really make sense for me to go and you know, do anything else than what I'm doing here. But in a realistic sense, it would take 10 of me to, in a year, get all of the changes I've made back into Pkgsrc, so it just kind of works. And it works as everyone would expect. A lot of time I'm using settings, I'm not doing patches. Well, I like that. I think it's more efficient, but I got a huge setting file. Alright, enough of this. Quake didn't build, so there won't be any updates like that, but every once in a while I'll come back.